Available now on Blu-ray from Ronin Flix, which is a company that I've long heard of, but I've never got anything from until now, is the 2007 psychological dramatic thriller Spiral, directed by Adam Green and Joel David Moore, starring Joel David Moore, who you would recognize as Zachary Levi, Amber Tamblyn, and a cameo by Trisha Helfer from the Battlestar Galactica revival TV series. Joel David Moore you would recognize from Adam Green's Hatchet and from, boy, a lot of stuff, including but not limited to Katy Perry's Waking Up in Vegas video. So, presented in 5.1 surround DTS HD master audio with English SDH subtitles. Story goes a little something like this. Not going to tell you the whole story. Joel David Moore works in an office building. It's like an insurance call center. Works under Zachary Levi, who's an old friend of his, like from high school. Moore is a very zombie-like guy. Damn near catatonic. Barely talks to anybody. Seems incredibly sad. Super quiet. Does not work well with others. Or is not somebody to engage socially. Levi is friends with him. Is always trying to boost him up and get him to get over that last girlfriend and to engage with people and engage with the world around him. Not terribly interested. Moore's thing is that he sketches women and then paints them. He is a jazz enthusiast, lives by himself in this sort of studio apartment kind of thing. And sooner or later at work, Amber Tamblyn shows up and she starts talking to him and engaging him, and she's trying to get him to smile and laugh and go out and do things. And one thing leads to another, and they start to sort of form a relationship, and he decides he's going to sketch and paint her. And that goes along fine. He's still kind of weird. It's one of the things about this movie is I don't get why anybody would want to talk to this guy, because he is so emotionally closed and unresponsive to people or to the world around him. Why somebody would be interested just seems weird, unless they view it as a challenge. Who knows? So eventually Tamblyn, they grow close. She brings him out of his shell a little bit, and she's sort of the fun. She's as what they call the manic pixie, basically. And she eventually makes a discovery that is very disturbing to her, and it causes everything to come to a hard left turn in the film. So, is this a horror movie? No. It is advertised kind of as a horror movie. The cover makes it look like a horror movie. The trailer makes it look like a horror movie. It's not really a horror movie until kind of the end. It's really more of a human drama about a very closed, damaged person and those who want to try to make him less so, who has some weird secret. He has these flashbacks or flashes of some woman that you see briefly, and it causes him to like go into asthmatic fits. And we don't really know why that is until the very end of the movie. And Levi is kind of a dude bro, likable-ish, but kind of a dude bro in the film, who keeps trying to get him to come out of his shell. But he's pretty shallow and kind of a misogynist, and maybe he's not that likable now that I think about it. I didn't really care for this movie. It took a long time to do what it was going to do. It felt very much like the kind of movie that an actor would make when they're directing themselves. I like Joel David Moore, and he comes off as a really cool guy in the extras. I've liked him in other things, but just in this movie, apparently it was a film that was made very cheaply, and there was a lot of friends who'd known each other for a long time who got together to make this movie. And, bravo to any movie that gets made and gets re-released, or gets released, let alone re-released, a decade plus later with, more extras and stuff like that. It didn't work for me. I wasn't interested. It's an indie drama. Let's say that. If you're into indie dramas, you'll probably like it a lot more than if you're not. So, it felt kind of tedious to me and kind of overlong. Like it would have worked a lot better as a short. And I think in the extras, Moore does say that the concept of the film started as the idea for a short. I think it would have worked better as a short. It was too slow burn for me, I guess. Extras, bonus features. Commentary with co-directors Adam Green and Joel David Moore, director of photography Will Barrett, and editor Corey Livingston. That's a new commentary looking back at the movie and the experience, what they look back on, which I almost like those better. Some commentaries are done like right after the film gets made, or right after it gets released, or right before it gets released. And I'm always like, I feel like a little bit of distance is more fun to talk about, in retrospect, how the experience was, other than we just finished this and boy, are we excited that it's going to come out and all that kind of stuff. Speaking of which, there is an archival commentary with co-directors Adam Green, Joel David Moore, writer Jeremy, I hate to say boring, but that's how it's spelled, director of photography Will Barrett, and actors Zachary Levi and Amber Tamblyn. That was done right before the movie came out, or right after it came out. Paint It Red, Making Spiral, 27 minutes. I quite enjoyed this. I watched this in lieu of listening to the commentaries because I didn't like the movie enough to want to have to sit through it two more times or to spend 3 hours listening to the commentary. So I will admit I did not listen to the commentaries, but I'm informing you that they are there. This 27-minute was very interesting. It was very well shot, and everybody on the production seemed very likable. It was interesting with these people looking back at that experience. They tell you how it came to be, what they think of the final product. So that was really interesting. And then there is a 2-minute trailer for the film, which again sells it much more as a horror movie than it really is. And the physical release, if you want to see, that's the cover, which again makes it look like a horror movie, front and the back. This slipcase, this is always the exciting part because is it going to be different artwork under it? The slipcase slips to reveal, same artwork under it. Crack it open, and it's just a disc with the same art. But I'm glad I did this because it does remind me that this is a region A, B, and C film. So this is region free. If you live anywhere from Detroit to Deutschland, you can pop this disc in your player and it'll just work, which is always cool. And that's that. So available on Blu-ray from Ronin Flix is the 2007 psychological thriller drama Spiral. Not to be confused with the sequel to The Ring entitled Spiral, or the sequel to the Saw films entitled Spiral. This is the Adam Green, Joel David Moore, Zachary Levi, Amber Tamblyn Spiral.